Were you just searching on YouTube to find out if and how a banana can learn Chinese? Or you've come to the right place. I've been struggling to learn Chinese for many years, but this time I thought I'll try to do it differently and share my journey on YouTube. Each episode, I will share with you characters and word combinations that I learned during my lessons and make up some funny sentences and stories to practice what I've learned. So if you're a banana like me and you want to have a go at learning this language, come join me on my journey. Let's see how far we can get with this. Here are the characters for today. Today I'm going to practice 6 new words that I've learned recently, and they are li, yi, hai, xìng, xie, and the last one is jiào. The first word here is li. The word on its own, it means plum, and it's also a very typical surname. Word examples using the character li, li zi, li zi, which is the plum, as in the fruit. Another word example using li is xìng li, which is luggage. So li zi, a fruit, and xìng li, the luggage. Xìng li. Let's try and make some sentences using these new words that I just learned. So I can say, Mr. Li, would you like to eat a plum? In Chinese, that would be 李先生，你要吃梨子吗? Because it's a question. 李先生，你要吃梨子吗? Oops, now that's the wrong 李. So let's fix that. The one I want is 李先生，你要吃梨子吗? Maybe another sentence with Mr. Li. I could ask Mr. Li, where's my luggage? Mr. Li, where is my luggage? And Mr. Li will say, your luggage is here. If I translate that, that will become 李先生，我的 not ring 行李在哪儿？在哪儿? Where's my luggage? And then Mr. Li would tell me, 你的行李在这里. Okay, let's read that out again. 李先生，我的行李在哪儿？你的行李在这里. The next character is yi, means to cure. So when you think about curings, who does the curing? That would be a doctor. So the word example using yi is 医生, which is doctor. And there are many different kinds of doctors in this world. And the ones that I learned in my lessons were 2 types of doctors. The first one is 中医, and the second one I learned was 西医. So 中医 is a traditional Chinese doctor. 中医, and the 西医 is a Western doctor. Let's try and make a sentence out of this. I could say, I'm sick and I want to see a doctor. Something like that. I can say, I'm sick. Want to see a doctor. Alright, so I could be sick and I need to get some help. I'm very specific about which doctor I want to see. So in Chinese, this would be 我病了。我要 I want 看医生，我要看中医，不要 I don't want 西医。我病了，我要看医生，我要看中医，不要西医。There we go. I have communicated the fact that I'm sick. I need to see a doctor, but I want to see a Chinese doctor and not a Western doctor. Let's try and make another sentence combining li and yi, and maybe some other words I've learned before. Well, let's call the doctor Dr. Li. Li 医生是很好的中医。李医生是很好的中医，他是我男朋 有 So what did I just write? 李义香是很好的中医 Dr. Li is a very good traditional Chinese doctor. 他是我男朋友 He is my boyfriend. The next word I'm practicing today is "tai." This is a pretty easy character to remember because it looks like "a" with this dot underneath it and it becomes "tai." And "tai" means something is too much, too great, extreme, or it's the greatest. And word combinations that I learned with "tai." The first one is "tai." This means wife or the missus. Definitely she's the greatest. Another word I learned is 太阳, and this is a beautiful word because it means the sun. Ta-da! 太太 Mrs. 太阳 the sun. Okay, so with these two words, let's try and make a sentence. Maybe we could say something about Dr. Lee and his business, even though I said Dr. Lee was my boyfriend, maybe I should have said ex-boyfriend, but I don't know how to say that yet. So let's say... So if I wanted to say that in Chinese, I would say 李医生的太太也是医生。Now this ta I have to pick this one because his wife is a female, so 她是一位西医。Let's read back what I wrote. 李医生的太太也是医生，她是一位西医。Another way to use "tai" is to make an adjective extreme by saying something like "tai," an adjective. And my most favorite one, and the one that everyone should know, is this easy one, which is the expression to say something is awesome. So what does it mean? How means good. I could say how, good job. Or I can say very good job. That would be 很好. Very good. But I could also make that even more extreme and say 太好了, which means awesome. So 好 good, 很好 very good. Or 好了 you're awesome. Let's make another sentence involving the missus and the son and the 太 adjective 了. Maybe I want to say something like the sun is extremely hot in June. You know, maybe Mrs. Lee is one of those that doesn't like the sun very much, so when it's really hot, she's not coming out of her house. Let's translate that. So the sun is extremely hot in June. Now I know that in Chinese I can't translate it in this order, so I'm gonna break it down a bit in my head. So sun is extremely hot will be 太阳太热了. Okay, I could say 太阳很热, which is very hot. But I want to try and make it extreme. So 太阳太热了. But this only happens in June, so I would say 6月. I don't know if I should put a the or not. Maybe not. 6月太阳很热，李太太不出来。6月太阳太热了，李太太不出来。Yep, they ain't coming out in June because it's too hot. The next character that I'm going to practice today is xìng. I have problem pronouncing this. I tend to get the tone wrong. Xìng, something like that. It may not be very accurate the way I'm pronouncing the pinyin. Xìng means your surname, or some people call it the family name, or your last name. And the word combinations for this that I learned are xìng Ming. Find this really hard to pronounce. Xìng Ming, and this is your full name. So if I ask you, what is your full name, or my full name is, I would use xìng Ming. Another word combination that I learned was a really nice simple one. Gui xing. Let's have a look at the pinyin, make sure I said it rightly. Gui xing, which is not a word, it's actually a question all on its own. It's what is your surname or family name? What is your family name? What's your last name? What's your surname? And 会姓 is just that on its own. So let's have a look at how can I make a sentence out of this. Maybe I'm meeting the doctor for the first time and I want to know his name. Hello, doctor. What is your surname? So I'm going to say hello to the doctor. I don't know his name yet, so I'll say 医生你好. We hello doctor, but then when I translate it, it becomes Dr. Hello. 医生你好，贵姓? I'm not exactly sure if this is how I would speak to a doctor, but those are the only words I know for now, so that will have to do. 医生你好，贵姓? The doctor's being very friendly to me because hey, I discovered later that he was my ex-boyfriend, so he's gonna say my family name is Li or my surname is Li, my full name is Li Wen, but you can call me old Li. So in Chinese, 医生 say 我姓李，我姓名是李问。李问 the Wen in this case is just a name. 你可以叫老李。So what does the doctor say? 我姓李，我姓名是李问，你可以叫我老李。Okay, Dr. Lao Li, thank you for introducing yourself. Let's move on to the next word. The fifth word that I am practicing today is yeah. Yeah, this is a really important word because I use it a lot. I've used it even before I started learning Chinese because everyone says it, but I didn't know how to write it. So now I've learned how to write the pinyin correctly. 谢, i.e. 谢. This is a very important word because it's how we say thanks. It also has another meaning, which is to wither, and sometimes it's also used as a surname. Word combinations, definitely to say thank you to somebody, you would say 谢谢. 谢谢, thanks, or to thank. Sometimes just saying thanks is not enough. You want to say 多谢, thanks a lot. So 谢谢 to thank, or 多谢, which is thanks a lot. But sometimes that's not even enough. You want to express an even more amount of thanks and gratefulness and appreciation, then I would say which is more like grateful, appreciation. And of course, when you thank someone or someone thanks me, then I would say it's okay, don't mention it, you're welcome. And the way to reply to a thank would be to say, well, the one that I learned in my lessons was this one, 不谢. But I've also seen in other books that I read a more formal version, which is 不用谢. 不谢, 不用谢, which in English it's the equivalent of welcome, don't mention it. Literally no need to thank. 不谢 and 不用谢, I do realize that in where I live here in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia, people generally don't use it. It sounds very weird, but that's what I learned. Here, most of my friends, they would say 不客气. Yeah, well, I don't know how to spell it yet, so I can't write it. I know they say 不客气, but I learned it as 不谢 or 不用谢. So let's try and make a sentence using 谢, and maybe we'll combine it with some of the other words. How about I say thanks to the doctor? I was sick and I went to see Dr. Lee, and now he's fixed me up, and I'll say thank you. 谢谢你，李医生，我很感谢你帮助我。帮助 is not a word I've learned formally, but I've heard it being said, so I'm going to use it. I don't really know if these characters are correct. If any of you guys tuned in, let me know if this is correct. I'm just going by the sound. 帮助. Let's have a look at the pinyin. 谢谢你，李医生，我感谢你帮助我。I'm grateful that you helped me. So as I said, I don't really know if I've spelled this correctly. I'm just going with the sounds. This could be completely wrong. I may be swearing at him, I don't know. But I'm grateful for his help. That's what I want to say. Okay, the sixth character that I'm practicing today is jiào. It's quite common. I've heard being used when I speak to friends. I never knew how to write it properly, so now I kind of know what the character looks like. And it turns out that this word has lots of different ways to use it, which can be quite confusing. It means to call, like to call somebody or be called. You can use it to order things, like order someone to do something, or order food, or ask someone to do something. Apparently, it also means jiào on its own. As a character on its own, you can use it like this. 大jiào李心明是李问. So I'm trying to use some of the other words that I learned to make my sentence. So I'm saying 大jiào李心明是李 Wen. So what I wrote was, he is called Li. Full name is Li Wen. 他叫李，姓名是李问. So I'm like introducing a friend. 他叫李，姓名是李问. He's called Li. Full name is Li Wen. 请叫他老李。请叫他老李. Oops, I've got the wrong 叫 in here. This should be 叫, this one. See? Now that I've learned this particular 叫, I know that I've used the wrong character. And how I know this 叫 is the correct 叫, it's because it's got the 口 in the front. So it's something to do with using your mouth to do something, right? 请叫他老李. Please call him or please refer to him as old Li. So this is an example of how to use the to call someone or be called something. He is called Li. 他叫李, right? He is called Li. Or you can say 请叫他老李. Please call him old Li. We could also use 叫 on its own, which is to order or ask something. Remember Mrs. Li, who's afraid of the sun? She doesn't want to come out. So maybe we'll ask her to come out. Maybe Li Yisheng wants his wife to come out from hiding. Li Yisheng 叫李太出来，太阳不热了。李医生叫李太太出来，太阳不热了。What did I just say? So Dr. Li, the sun is no longer hot. Because I used the word le, it means it's already past, right? It's already not hot. So you can come out now. The sun's no longer hot. So let's look at the word combinations that I learned. There were two that I learned which blew my brains out because the pinyin is the same, but they're not the same. The first one is 叫好, 叫好, and another one is 叫好, 叫好. So 叫好 and 叫好, and they have completely different meanings. The first one refers to applaud or cheer, and the second one means your calling number, or as I like to call it, it's like your queue number or your ticket number. Like if you go to a service center and you pick a number, that's your calling number, the one on the ticket. So let's try and make a sentence. I don't know how to make a combined sentence with the two, so I'll just make two separate sentences. 我们拍手叫好. Okay, pretty boring sentence, but that's the best I can do for now. 我们拍手叫好. We clapped and cheered. We clapped and cheered. We clapped our hands. 拍手 and cheered. Okay, maybe with the calling number, we can type to the doctor. Maybe the doctor called my number because it's my turn. 李医生叫. Okay, so in this case, it's that 叫 because he's calling me. 叫我的叫号. Let's do 我的 first. 叫号. So in this case, I gotta be careful because there are two options that come up. 叫好, 叫号. So I'm gonna pick this one. 李医生叫我的叫号. Dr. Li called my number. He's not calling me on the phone. It's calling my queue number. Now that I've learned these 6 new characters and some of the word combinations, what I like to do at the end of learning new characters is to try and write a story or an essay, 作文 essay, and try to use as many of those words as possible. I've made up a little story involving me falling sick and meeting Dr. Li. So I'm going to try and translate this into 作文, an essay in Chinese. Here we go. So last Friday is 上个星期五我病了，我看一位中医，我去看一位中医，他叫李 ，he's called Li. 李医生的太太也是一位医生，是I don't know if that's the correct sentence structure in Chinese. I think it conveys the meaning. Her surname is Xie. 她的姓名是谢. Oh, 姓名 is full name. So 她姓谢. Her surname is Xie. 她姓谢. Her full name is 谢妹. 她的姓名是谢妹. I'm just gonna randomly pick a May. They is 他们 They're not just good, very good, they're awesomely good. So 太好了 I really appreciate their help. 我感谢他能帮助我 Okay, again, I don't know if the 帮助 is spelled correctly with the right characters. I'm just going with the sound. 我感谢他们帮助我。他们叫我小是这个小妹妹 little sister 妹妹 Okay, let's put on the pinyin and read it back. 上个星期五我病了，我去看一位中医，他叫李医生的太太也是一位医生，是西医，他姓谢，他的姓名是谢梅。他们太好了，我感谢他们帮助我，他们叫我小妹妹。
So those were the characters for this episode. We hope you find ways to use them, practice. I hope I will too. If you have any comments or suggestions about the content, a better way that I could learn the language, a better way to practice, or there's a better way that I could present this video that will help you to learn it, please let me know in the comments. If there's anything that I had mispronounced or used the wrong character, please feel free to leave a comment. You can help me to learn and get better at this. Thanks for watching, and remember to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episode. 谢谢大家，再见。